Hello, friends. Welcome to Budget Girl. Today, we are recording live from the Adobe podcast stage at FinCon in Portland, Oregon. I am ever so thrilled to be joined by some of my very long-term friends and OG personal finance and money YouTubers. On my right, we have Marissa Lyda, formerly the Budgeting Wife. On my left, Kellyanne Smith. You may know her from Freedom in a Budget. And then, of course, Whitney Hansen from the Money Nerds podcast. And you all know me. I am so thrilled to have these girls here. I was looking at some of our previous videos from like way back in the day. We were babies. And we were broke. And now we are not so broke anymore. Thank God. So the good news is after 10 years of talking about money on the internet, our net worths are significantly higher, which means what we have been talking about is working.
Yeah,
which is fantastic.
So watch our old videos.
Yes, watch our old videos. I'm going to link all of the hilarious videos from our previous collabs below. Please go check them out. I'm also going to list all of their channels. So what we're going to talk about today is how we've changed.
Oh, I like the change.
Yeah, in the past 10 years of working on our money in public, transparently, for the entire world to criticize. And
and they do.
Yes. And how we live now and how we spend our money now after making really giant sacrifices in our 20s and our 30s. So let's start with you, Whitney. Yeah. Tell me kind of what's changed for you. What do you spend your money on now that you never, ever would have thought to spend on back in the day? When you first started?
Biggest change. Okay, there's a couple. So we talk a lot about traveling. I think that was all of our goals when we were in our 20s, like get out and go experience the world and have a great time. And while I still do that, I don't do that on a super tight budget anymore. No, I'm not spending $500 a night on hotels, but I mean, I'm not finding the cheapest place anymore. So that has been a big shift and I appreciate that. It's been so much better. The other big shift that I have personally experienced is I used to invest in real estate with my own property. Like that was my house. I house hacked. It helped me get out of debt when I was in my 20s. I don't have roommates anymore, unless you count my partner and my new baby. But I am still doing investing in real estate through unique short-term rentals. So that's super different. And I don't think I ever could have afforded that even before.
Please tell us about your unique short-term rentals because they're the coolest thing on the planet.
Well, one of which Sarah has stayed at. It's a geodome in the mountains of Idaho.
It's gorgeous.
So it kind of looks like a giant igloo. It's really cool.
So cool.
And then I have a giant 24-foot tall flower pot. Yes, that's exactly what it is. I don't know how else to describe it.
It's the best thing in the world. She was the winner of the Airbnb OMG Fund.
Yeah.
So they helped you build that super unique stay.
Yes.
And it's literally a giant flower pot that you can sleep in.
Quite seriously.
On a flower farm in Idaho. It's the coolest thing ever.
It's pretty great.
And that's amazing. And it's exactly the type of thing that you'd want to go be a little bougie with your travel and spend in.
Yeah.
Maybe hit the Idaho potato,
For
hit
sure.
the flower pot.
You have to, right?
Super unique stays.
And super expensive and very cash flow intensive because it's not traditional real estate. So if I still had debt, if I still was really, really frugal and like just trying to work my way building a foundation, there's no way I could have afforded that.
Yeah. One of the things that all of us have done is exponentially increase our streams of income, whether that's from investing or from side businesses. A couple of us are landlords. Kind of, I guess you're not so much a landlord. I'm a landlord, but you do short-term rental, which is kind people of paying you to live somewhere that you own.
Yeah.
It counts.
I think so.
All right, let's throw it over to Marissa. What do you do now that back in our baby YouTuber days you would never have done?
Oh man, back in the early days of YouTube, it was like the goal to spend as little money as possible.
Yes, all of us were in the Dave Ramsey.
Yes.
Very much so.
Yeah,
Yes.
we were.
And like I took pride in the fact that I drove my 98 Camry like for so long. But one thing that we did 2 years ago is we bought a brand new car.
And why did you come to that decision versus a used car?
Well, at the time in the market, it was actually cheaper to buy a brand new car than it was a used one. And we also knew someone who worked at the dealership and they were able to get us a little bit lower of a price too. So it worked out and we're like, this seems so silly. I never ever thought I'd ever buy a brand new car, but we needed a minivan. We And
You got kids now.
yeah, we have 3 kids. And we're
Everyone's
like,
a mom but me, by the way. I have dogs. as
So
y'all know.
you're a dog mom. That counts.
that's right. But yeah, we bought a brand new car, but we did so with cash. And so we still don't have a car loan, but we bought a brand new car, and I love that car. I get into that car every day and I'm like, I love my minivan. I'm just rocking the soccer mom minivan life, and I love it. Paid for it with cash, but yeah, I have a
But
brand
could
new
not
car.
have conceived of that back in our
No,
debt days.
never.
All right, Kelly, what about you?
I think for me, now that I have kids, is my daughter's in private school and able to pay for private school now. I grew up in public school. My husband grew up in public school, but I was like, at least for these first couple of years, we want
Was
to
that
do
a
it.
solely like we can just afford it decision, or was that based around kind of best for the child of your options?
I think it was, we can afford it, best for her. And then honestly, also, it was kind of like double dutch childcare so that I could work, because there was no working at all with a toddler. That anytime I bring her my laptop, she's like, ooh, I want to play this. I want to type and all this stuff. So it gave me a chance to be able to bring in some income and not like put everything that I worked so hard for in my business to the wayside and just let it kind of go away. So I wanted to kind of sustain that a little bit.
I think I'm also the only one among us that has like maintained like a full-time day job,
Yeah.
because you were able to go full-time with your business, and you went to
Yeah.
part-time and then developed your own business as well. So I'm the only one that like kind of stuck with the full-time position, but I really like that because it, it's the benefits. It makes it so I don't necessarily have to sell to my audience, and I've been able to really drastically increase the amount of money that I made in the normal 9 to 5. So
There's something so great about having the stability of a 9 to 5.
Yes,
for sure.
And I know people are like, would you ever have Jacob leave his job to come do this? I'm like, no, I like having a spouse with having that part of the stability with his 9 to 5.
So
And
somebody's got the benefits coming in.
For
Somebody's
sure.
got the thing. By the
For
way,
sure.
her husband's name is Jacob as
Yes.
well. So as is,
2
as is
Jacobs.
my partner. Nobody get confused.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about what else we just wouldn't have considered doing before. I never would have used a credit card when I was paying off debt.
Same.
I completely was like, nope, we're not going to do it. It does complicate things. And now I use credit cards for everything. Pay
Yeah.
them off in full every single month. And I use the points.
I
got-
don't remember the last time I used a debit card.
I mean,
It's
the
been
protections are also there as
years.
well.
Yeah.
Are we all credit card people?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
What have you used your points for?
So I went to see Taylor Swift down in
Oh,
New Orleans
yes.
last year. Didn't pay a cent for flights. Didn't pay a cent for the hotel.
Love it.
And we got like really upgraded at the Troubadour because I had so many Hilton points, because that's what I
Yeah.
use. That's my
Yeah.
like daily driver credit card. I've never paid a cent in interest, and they even gave us like $60 of food credit a day for like the restaurant and the snack place. Oh yeah, we got treated like kings.
That's
They upgraded you
amazing.
sweet, and I was just like, oh, I can see why
Don't mind
people
if I
do
do.
this. But I also tend to forget that the credit cards points exist until it's time to use them every like 2 or 3
Yeah.
years. We're not big travelers,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
there's that. What about you guys? What have y'all used points for anything really fun?
Man, I'm a point collector. Which I need to like be better about this. Like I'm waiting for the right opportunity to find my dream business class flight, and then I'm just going to transfer all my points and sit back and sip that free champagne.
We went to Hawaii.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on points and
on
didn't have
points.
to pay that much on it.
No, we didn't pay a penny for miles. Hotel was covered where we went, but we didn't I haven't paid for a hotel
Yeah.
and flights in years.
To be fair, I think it's really good that we kind of started off that foundation of like using cash, budgeting from like a really small amount, so that when our incomes increased, we were able to then not misuse credit cards. Like
That's important.
we were aware of how dangerous that was, and can kind of move forward and use it
I
for the
think-
benefits.
Yeah, I think I'm so much in like the business mindset, and I teach people how to grow businesses and stuff. And I talk about, if I were given $1 million business right now and had to manage $1 million business, I wouldn't know what the heck to do. The same thing if you're, all of a sudden making all this money and all this stuff. I know I would have in my 20s been spending willy-nilly and not knowing how to manage it. So I loved that I built that foundation of learning how to manage it. So that way, now that we have built wealth and have grown our net worth and all of that stuff, we know how to do it responsibly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I started out very, very low income.
Yeah.
I think probably the most out of all of you. And then, it's our salaries have increased as we've been able to make more money. it was key to making
Yeah.
those really good decisions. Let's see. What about spending on beauty? Because I believe most of us used to cut our own hair.
No, I did not because I did nails. So I had access to hairstylists. So I'd be
Oh.
like, hey, help, just like.
You did the tradesy?
We always traded. So that was always really great.
Okay.
I'm
Do you
not there.
still do that?
No, now I pay a lot for my hair. I don't know if I should say. I'm almost embarrassed.
You-
Don't judge it right now either. I'm due. I have a baby, you know?
You used to cut your own hair.
I never cut my own
No,
hair.
you used to
No.
cut your
I used to, and I still do.
I used to cut my own hair. Now I go to like a cheap salon. It's like a $20
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah.
It's not super complicated.
I just cut mine like 2 weeks ago. I cut 4 inches off.
You know, I got a haircut. I try to just cut my hair like once or twice a year. So I like cut it short and then let it grow so that I don't have to do
Okay.
it as often. But I do go to a nice salon.
You do.
And I like just got a haircut in June and it was like, I think I spent like $120.
Oh, okay. I feel
On a
better
haircut.
then.
That's not even. I don't feel like.
Oh,
that.
I
guys,
know.
this
That's
is
not
great.
bad. Like
I know.
twice a year.
I know. That's why
That's
I'm
like
like, I just have to do this twice a year. And then I have 4 boys at home and I cut all of their hair at home. And that's kind of my justification of like, they get haircuts from me that are free. And then I can go get my haircut professionally done.
Okay.
I dye mine, get it dyed professionally.
Dye professionally, but you still cut it on your own.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I always said when I was getting out of debt, because I didn't spend money on like any beauty things, that I would go get a quarterly pedicure, and I do, and I love it.
There you go.
Absolutely love it. And sometimes I get my eyebrows done, but usually I just fuck them myself. You know, I'm here and I just.
Get that one chin hair.
One that just
The
grows
one,
out.
there used to just be one. There are more now. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so that's an excellent segue. What are the other frugal things that we all still do? Like, can't pry this habit from my cold dead hands. I will not pay someone to do this because I'm still a cheap ass.
I still shop at Aldi.
Me too. Love Aldi.
Yeah. I still, even like generic, buy generic if I am shopping at a grocery store, like a typical grocery store.
Yeah. Okay.
I would never do like Uber Eats or DoorDash
Oh, yeah.
or
I do-
anything.
I don't even have those apps on my phone. I live
Yeah.
in like a smallish town. We have cars, so like
Ugh.
we'd rather just run down the street to the grocery
Yeah.
store. We will not pay for delivery.
Yes, the extra fees of that. I'm like, I
No.
cannot.
I can't imagine it. It's flabbergasting to me.
Yeah.
I definitely have.
Y'all
I'm not
over-
gonna lie,
y'all over
yeah,
eat?
yeah, no one. Me neither.
I still primarily shop secondhand. Like I think maybe 80-90% of my
That's
wardrobe
amazing.
I buy off of like Poshmark, Mercari because it's just cheaper and
Yeah.
like I just don't like buying.
Almost all of my kids' clothes are secondhand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They grow out of them.
They
fast.
grow at it so like
Yeah.
Luke, my baby, like it's like a week and a half and he's in the next size. I'm like,
It's depressing.
this is insane. Yeah.
I also have a 9-year-old car that I have no intention of replacing. I started to think about it just a little bit, and I just went and got it professionally detailed. Now it feels like a brand new car.
Oh, that's
There
a
you
good
go.
hack though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really, because
Yeah,
how much did that
200
cost?
It was $200. He did an amazing job. My car is mostly a dog relocation vehicle, so it is not just covered in dog hair. Like the dog hair is embedded. Remember, I have 4 dogs, so like they took hours to do it. But I got it back and it smelled all clean. It's so much
best.
nicer.
Worth
And
it.
now I have no interest in a new car. I was thinking about it. Don't need it.
I have an old car too. 9
Same.
years old. Yeah.
But that's not the only car in your family, is it, Kelly? Let's go back to the things we might not have conceived previously.
So I have a 9-year-old Jeep Cherokee, and then my husband has a sports car that we bought. We bought it used. I think it was like a year, 6 months to a year old. It was pretty much almost brand new, but not quite. We were like second owner, and we bought it when I was in labor. Like, well,
what?
not
For
like
real?
labor, but
Perfect
like Braxton
gift.
Hicks. Like I was like having contractions. We were there for
Focus,
hours.
Jamie.
Strike
Oh,
while the
yes.
iron's
Like,
hot. He's like, she's
like,
weak.
Can we just like stop? Stop. We're gonna buy the car. Just
That is
stop going back and forth. Like,
Oh my god.
give me your best offer and let's just leave. Yeah.
That's
was-
amazing.
I was.
Do you
Braxton
think you
Hicks.
got a better deal because you were in active labor?
True.
No, I don't think so. I think
No,
they're
you
trying
think
to lay
they
it out.
they
Yeah.
took
Mhm.
advantage of the
Oh, that's
situation?
messed up.
Yeah.
They should have gave you a
You should
discount
have
for
like
that.
kind of stood over it and been like, "Listen, this car is going to be devalued in a
This
second."
water
It's
might
like,
break. Like,
It
come on.
could. We never know.
Yeah. So he
what?
drives a nice sports car.
Okay.
Not a like fancy. It's a Kia Stinger. So it's like a sports car to me, maybe not to like other people.
Who knows? Is that like a bougie fancy car?
It's
I'll
nicer.
let car people tell me below. All right, what other frugal things do we still do?
So with kids, I do leftovers all the time for them,
Okay.
to the point that even like they will just eat a few bites of their lunch, and I will wrap it up, put it in the fridge, and when it's snack time, take it back out. I'm like, here's your snack.
For
No
sure.
food waste for you.
Yes.
I do that too. Like we went to a restaurant and I think Peyton had like chicken fingers and French fries. There was like one chicken strip back left, and he was like, "Why are you packing?" I'm like, "That's a whole meal for her."
Yeah.
That's
Pack
one
it
less
up.
meal I gotta cook for her.
Yes.
We paid for it, you eat it.
Exactly.
Gain
Groceries-
is the question.
Groceries are just so expensive.
Yeah.
And then when you have like 5 people in the house, I'm like, we will try and limit food waste as much as we possibly can. So leftovers.
Speaking of kind of the bougie things, I think I spent close to $1,000 on groceries and eating out last month, or the month before last. This past month, yeah, it was back to kind of more normal levels, but I think I went to like Sam's Club and like we did some stocking up, and it was honestly, it felt like a knife to the gut. And
Yeah.
of course, groceries are so much more expensive. My grocery budget was $40 a week back in the day.
Yeah.
I remember that
crazy?
specifically, and being able to like have plenty of
Yes.
food, snacks,
Yeah.
etc. for one person.
I was $100 a month.
$100 a month. Oh my gosh!
I can't
Now how
remember
much
what
do you
it was
spend?
at.
Now it's like 400, 500. I would
It's
say.
still pretty good.
That's-
For
though.
your whole
Yeah.
family?
But Jamie, my husband travels a lot. So
Oh, okay.
His
He was
is
not
kids,
feeding him
yeah.
as much.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
What
then
about-
Peyton eats like a bird.
Mhm.
What about you guys? Do you want to disclose your grocery budget?
So we're a family of 5, and we spend about 800 to 900 a month
That's
on
not bad.
groceries.
That's
We're really
That's
hitting up
pretty good.
Costco a lot now with
Yeah.
this many people.
But that's
So
Costco's also expensive.
It
Costco
is.
and Sam's, you can go in and spend $100 on like 4
Oh,
or
for
5
sure.
items.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go as far as it used to.
no.
I'm trying to think. Tony and I are combined about 600 per month, and that's like we're not really looking at price tags as much. Like we're just
Yeah.
buying whatever the heck we want in
Yeah.
that moment. So that is a little bit different because before I don't remember what my grocery probably $100, 150 a month. So that has changed, but
I
I'm
remember,
still meal prep though.
yeah, I remember back in the day when we were working on paying off debt, and like beans and rice, we're like, we literally have to eat beans and rice. But then even like canned beans, we're like, oh, we could save more money if we get
Do the dry
dehydrated.
beans. Yeah, and have to do it yourself.
And
Take it to the
soak the
extreme.
beans. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad
and
we're
sort
past
out
the
like
point.
the little rocks and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm glad we're past that point
Oh,
of the
gosh,
dried
yeah.
beans.
I buy like the boneless chicken now. I don't have to like separate.
Oh,
the-
yeah.
yeah. That's, whew. Yeah,
That
big,
is a lot.
big thing there.
It's the little things, man. It really does make a difference though. It saves a lot of time too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Time is
The
money.
convenience, the convenience foods for sure. Okay. I had something and then I forgot it. Anything else you guys want to add? Either what we were kind of comparison from how we used to spend and budget versus now, or things that we're still frugal about.
Okay. This one, people just don't believe me when I say this, but I still do not like to eat out. So on a normal basis, we're at a conference, so of course I'm spending money on coffee and food and that kind of stuff. That's my outliers. Generally speaking, I only spend like $100 a month on eating out and coffee. And I am such a coffee lover that whenever I go to any places, I buy my coffee and I always walk away feeling like, was this really worth
Oh
$8?
my gosh,
Like,
yes.
I don't know, man.
Yes.
So I haven't found that like value for dollar. So I just
Yeah.
don't spend money on that anymore. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, your daily latte, you need that. I do need my coffee daily, but I just don't get the value,
Ugh,
which
yeah,
is such a
I
bummer.
agree.
So I have become bougie about my coffee now. I'm not a daily
you?
coffee drinker, but every weekend we'd load the dogs into the car. We go get like a Saturday morning coffee. The thing is that our coffee shop loves our dogs.
Aw.
Like they snatch them out of the car and hold them.
Stop.
Rosie, our baby, she is the lock screen on the pay
Oh.
iPad. They have our
way.
dog
So
stickers
funny.
plastered all over their cash registers and their coffee machines.
Yeah.
So once or twice a week, we bring the dogs to the coffee place. They get the pup cups. They love the pup cups. And like
so
every
funny.
barista there knows their names. And like it's such a value add experience that yes, it's worth $9 for my coffee, which is admittedly delicious. But
That's good.
yeah, I never thought that I would be like a eat coffee out regularly person, but I so am.
Yeah.
What are you
That's
guys'
so
coffee
cute.
habit?
I am always home in the morning, so I just make my own. And then Jamie, he's a Starbucks guy. But now Jamie is not frugal in the least bit. He is Mr. Bougie. And
But he always has been.
he's always
like, I
been
remember
bougie.
you complaining about that like
Yeah.
9 years
Like
ago.
even in, like his mom was telling me like even in middle school he was all like button down shirts and and he's always gotten the same Starbucks order. When we first started dating 12 years ago, however long it's been that we've been together, it was $3.72. He gets just a venti iced coffee with caramel and cream. That same coffee is now over $5. And now they're like charging for the caramel syrup. Like this, yeah. And so
No.
even he's saying this is getting expensive. So I'm like, if Mr. Bougie is saying it's expensive. So now I make cold brew 3 days a week.
Okay, love a cold brew. And I know you like your Starbies occasionally.
Well, yes, like back when I was actually paying off debt, like I wanted to incorporate some fun in my life. And I was like, I want to get my latte. But
Didn't you do like Starbucks gift cards that you would load and
Yeah.
that would be your
well, yeah. And so every Monday I would go get a Starbucks. That was like my part of my routine. And I'm like, I can treat myself on Monday, but therefore if it's Friday and I really want something, I'm going to make it at home. And so I just know that like Monday's the day I do that. And now I rarely go to Starbucks, maybe like once every 3 months because I get it. And then I'm like, that was not worth the price.
that much money.
It's not worth it anymore. I just cannot bring myself to do it.
Oh, can I share a tip about
Yes.
coffee? Okay, I think this is the best hack in the whole world, and it's so underappreciated. The McDonald's coffee, you
Oh.
guys get
It
the
is
app.
good.
It's like $1 if you use their app, and it's pretty decent. Like
It
I'm
is.
gonna be real. So that is like one of my favorite things.
I hate downloading restaurant apps, but that might
Just
be
app
worth
for
it.
just do the
everything.
McDonald's.
Just the McDonald's and the
Sponsor
Sonic
us.
ones. 'Cause they do like the half price drinks. We go get like the Sonic drinks sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, so that's how we've changed over the past years. If you guys are longtime viewers of any of our channels, I would love to know kind of what you were surprised by or if your money habits have changed over the years as you have improved and grown your own wealth. Please go visit these guys. Their channels will all be linked down in the comments below and subscribe and go support them. And thank you so much for watching. We're coming at you from FinCon. We're going to have such a great few days and it's so good to see these guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.